All right, we're deliberately driving on the roads of Puerto Rico to give my father some practice on his driving skills. This is a test. They have now just passed this. Anyone over 80 each year has to take a driver's test to make sure they're qualified to driving correctly. So once a year, Mr. Marone has to. Mr. Marone, you're a little too close to this car in front of you, Mr. Marone. Please back off, Mr. Marone. Up, Mr. Marone makes his move without the directionals. That's automatic failure, Mr. Marone. So Mr. Marone just made just took off 10 points from Mr. Marone. He's also driving, if you look with both feet, that's another 5-point deduction. He's driving like a crane operator, brake and gas, which he wants to replace the brakes. We haven't replaced them in 6 years, so Mr. Marone is, he's a dual, they see he has his foot on the gas and brake, which causes accidents, because he can't figure if he's on the brake or on the gas. There we go. Very good. There's nice footwork by Mr. Marone. You can see that. The stupid music. I can't stand this music.
I want to show them that my...
Just watch the road, please.
I want to show them that my toes never left my feet.
No, okay. Listen.
That's important.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Watch the road. Your job is to focus on the road. Mr. Marone is having a tough time focusing on bumps and craters on the roads here.
Bumps, the craters.
Yes, the craters on the road here. So Mr. Marone is driving Puerto Rican Mike live in Puerto Rico right now. Hope you're enjoying this. Here's the lights. Let's see how he does with the. Oh yes, Mr. And he doesn't downshift. Your foot's still on the brake there.
Stop shifting.
I see the foot on the brake too.
Stop shifting.
Yeah, he's a little late on the downshifting.
Yeah.
He's a little rusty. Hasn't driven in a while, but we're getting him back into the habit of driving.
I haven't driven since 6 hours ago.
No, he hasn't driven since his last disaster, the hurricane disaster. Yeah, so anyway, we're here in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican Jesse is back. He's now driving, as you can see. And this is called the, Mr. Marone is taking a driving course right now, because they just passed the law here in Puerto Rico. After the age of 80, you have to take a driver's test once a year.
That's bullshit.
Because yes, no, it isn't bullshit. It's correct. This January, he has to take another driver's test to make sure he's capable of driving.
My license is New York.
No,
so this does not have anything to do with it.
Yes, it does. It's a Commonwealth.
Yes, so my license is in New York.
You need to switch the license to Puerto Rican license now.
Never happened.
You have to get a Puerto Rican license.
Yeah, right.
Because your residence, Hector changed your residence to Puerto Rico now.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, the gas prices are around 83 cents per liter, which is up from 58 cents pre-Hurricane Maria. There's a lot of tires over here. Take a look at this tire place. So when you know where to come to get some tires over here. So we're heading back to Cerro Gordo right now. Pops is on lockout. He pissed and dutied everywhere. So Pops is on lockout, but the Warren, the prison, what is it? The Warren guy? Who's in charge of the prison?
The warden.
The warden, yes, the warden. Mr. Marone, the warden. Mr. Marone, the warden, is in charge of the lockup. He's said that Pops has gotten his punishment for the day. He's been on lockout all day long. He's now allowed to come into the TV room and sleep with him in the bedroom. But usually it's a disaster when he wakes up in the morning, and I have to go in there with the mom.
There was nothing in there this morning.
Well, yeah, not that he could see.
Because I put him out of
like I said, there's also a new rule for guys over 80 have to.
Why am I even going along with this bullshit?
They're having some fun. Let's go. Come on, we're having some fun. Watch out for the bump. Come on, miss the bump, Mr. Marone. Woohoo! He missed that bump. That's the first bump he didn't miss. I mean, he did miss. I was wondering if he was trying to hit them all. Were you trying to hit all the bumps, Mr. Marone? Oh, here we go. Very good driving skills. We're back to driving in Puerto Rico. Live. Driving in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican Mike are back in action. Mr. Marone is back. He disappeared for almost a year. But now he's back. We didn't. Where were you, Mr. Marone? Where have you-
Vacationing.
Vacationing. Okay, from reality or from
everything.
From everything. Okay, he was vacationing from everything. Total recall. Hey, you go back to Mars. I think he thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I mean, what interpretation can you do? What's the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator? What did he say in that movie? What's the famous line he said, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I shall be back.
I shall be back. No, isn't it I'll be back?
I'll be back.
Okay. And how about in Al Pacino when he's in the courtroom? What does he say? What's that word he says when he's in the courtroom? If you're not out of order, you're out of order. What does he say? What is that whole thing? He says, you're out of order. I'm out of order. Where's that one?
I don't know.
And who makes an offer you can't refuse, Mr. Marone? Who is that?
The Godfather.
And what's his name? Who played the Godfather?
There was a couple of guys, but the guy that played it was Gomez Camp.
No, who's the head guy? Marlon
Brando.
Marlon Brando, correct. And who was his son? What was his name? His son, Marlon Brando's son, who took over as Godfather. You have a great son named that name.
I do?
Yes. So what was the name of the Godfather? His son that took over when Vinny got...
Joseph.
Who got the... No, not Joseph. Who's your son? What's your son's name?
Jesse.
Then who's the other son's name?
Oh, give me a break with it.
Corleone. Michael Corleone.
Michael Corleone.
Yeah, Mike. What do you mean give me a break? Not even... See, this proves that my dad is having a
mental breakdown.
A mental breakdown. He can't remember Vito Corleone's son, Michael Corleone, Corleone, yeah. Where was he from, Dad? You know where he was from? Michael Corleone's father?
Corleone, Italy.
No, Sicily, Dad.
No,
Sicily. They were from Sicily. Corleone is Sicily, Dad. Sicily. He's from Sicily.
He was from Corleone.
Yes, in Sicily. If you look it up, Corleone, he's from Sicily. Let's do facts and for pronouns. We're going to come back with movies, buffs, Puerto Rican Mike, movies, buffs, and certain things. So subscribe down below. We'll be back in a little while. Take it easy. Peace out. Say peace.
Peace.
And what's that lady's name? Chocolate Dickles? The horse's mouth, the boss. What is that? The boss?
From the eyes of the boss. In l'acqua di padrone. In grosso di cavallo.
Okay, good.
Makes the cow fat.
And on that note, if you're not around, you don't get things done. And we're around and we're going to get things done. 10-4. Puerto Rican Mike. Subscribe down below. And